Yummy.
Alright, so just go back to the Alright. So for your first, or for your fresh dumplings here, this is their bestseller, which is the pork and chai dumplings.
Yeah. I cannot believe it.
So generally it is, yes, this is your home for the HOPIA.
This is one of the reasons why we're truly excited.
Yeah,
is
to try all these.
Yeah, that hole in the wall out here in the Philippines. So, yeah.
And definitely not only are they hole-in-the-walls and delicious food, but they have quite a lot of different history as well that I would love to share with you guys later
God,
on.
this is exciting.
Alright, shall we?
Hello, and welcome back to this part 2 series as we explore the Binondo district, the world's oldest Chinatown. And on this episode, we're going to take you on the ultimate and famous Binondo food tour. Binondo is a culinary haven that offers a rich and gastronomic experience. The food scene here is incredible. It's a melting pot of cultures and tastes, not to mention the wonderful aromas when you're passing by certain streets and stalls. We'll be sampling some of the most authentic Chinese and Filipino dishes. I gotta give a quick shout out to our awesome guide, Chloe, who is from Explore Manila Tour. She is actually one of the best storytellers that I've ever come across, and we are learning so much. And I've been to a lot of rodeos in my lifetime. Well, our next stop is down Carvajal Street, where 2 hole-in-the-wall restaurants have our name on it to try and sample some of the most authentic dishes, and we are so hungry and cannot wait. And by the way, what is your favorite Chinese dish? Please leave a comment below. We'll add it to our bucket list to try the next time in the future when we visit the Binondo district.
Now this is going to be our first stop. I cannot wait to try this. I'm here, finally going to try this. This is, I believe, the lumpia.
Yeah,
Fresh
the
lumpia?
Fresh lumpia.
Fresh lumpia, right over here.
Yes.
It actually looks like a burrito.
It does, it does.
Yeah, look at this. Oh my God.
Because generally the type of fresh lumpia we all are more accustomed to is actually filled of wood, right? Or the part of the palm. But this type of lumpia is actually a little bit more traditional in the sense that inside is actually vegetables like carrots, cabbage, lettuce, and definitely some tofu and some pork in there as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Because of course back then it was a little bit more harder to acquire that type of vegetable or the heart of the palm because you had to kill a whole tree.
Right.
So they made do with whatever vegetables they had in their refrigerator.
Yeah.
So you might be wondering what's all these kind of things in the lining of the lumpia.
I am.
So I would love you to take a bite of it real quick.
Okay, right here is the sauce,
yeah,
right?
The best way to open it up, the Filipino way,
How's that?
is to nibble it in the corner. Yeah.
Okay, hey, I'm gonna give it a shot. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Here we go. The flavors. I can taste a little bit of the veggies, the carrots. I taste a little bit. There's a little bit of sugar in it. And part of the one of the reasons that I love about it is that I love sweet stuff, and it seems like a big, delicious burrito. Definitely, I'd come back again. Definitely recommend it, and I'm so excited and happy that this was our first stop because I was getting a little hungry, and this is actually the perfect breakfast. All right, we're actually going to be walking over to our next stop. It's not so far. It's going to be very, very close by, so I'm actually excited about this next tour.
So definitely you have all the carinderia or turo-turo places.
Yes. Wow.
A little bit of a fun fact,
Okay.
right? This type of eateries, right, what we call as turo-turos in Filipino or carinderias, were actually originally coming from the Indians.
Wow, we are just loving this awesome food tour and the rich history. And it's also the birthplace of many, such as the carinderia, or also known as the turo-turo. Did you know that this concept of ready-made foods came from the Indians when some lived in the Philippines during the World War II era? Well, yes, that's true. There were some, and they needed to make a living. So they basically came up with the concept of selling ready-made curry food called curry houses to basically make a living. But eventually they left the Philippines to go back home, and the Filipinos did not know how to make that Indian curry as good as they did. So they actually pivoted and came up with the idea to sell ready-made Filipino food, which was the birthplace of the carinderia and turo-turo. Wow, pretty cool bit of history of the Philippines right there, and boy are we getting hungry. Off to our next spot. much of a curry fan, but when my mom makes curry, I love it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Over here,
Okay.
a little bit of very hole in the wall, no?
All right. I love the hole in the wall.
And we're not meaning just about like the dumplings or shawmai, right? Yeah. In the Chinese term, dim sum actually means tiny snacks.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Although here you're definitely not just trying tiny snacks, but it's kind of the same with the Filipino culture, where you're eating, as long as you're not eating anything with a bowl of rice, you know that you're eating a snack as well, right?
Right.
So that's what's the same with the Chinese culture and the Filipino culture as well. So that's what you're gonna be having throughout this whole morning. Everything will just be snacks because you're not gonna be having any rice in it. Yeah. No matter how heavy or kind of filling it is, it's still considered as a snack because there's no rice in it. No? So in the next few other stops, we'll definitely see the portions gets bigger and bigger. But we'll try to you know, kind of pace out the portions for everyone else as well.
That means I better slow down and not eat everything. Okay.
So let us know lang din.
Oh my god. This is delicious. Hella strong. It's sweet, like it just encouraged. The spices. This is one of my best too. So far, the first two have been really, really good.
Ooh, bangus? Wow, look at that.
That's my favorite, the marinated one.
Oh, babe, look at that. Oh, man.
So yeah, just a quick stop here again, yeah. Because other than banks here in Chinatown, definitely you're very familiar with the Divisoria.
Yes, oh, the Divisoria, babe.
Yeah, the Divisoria.
She likes shopping.
Yeah, I've heard you love going to the Divisoria. All the pasalubong and all that. Yes. All the affordable ones. Yeah. So the thing here in Chinatown, right? Not only is it very known for all the food, but definitely with a lot of wholesale items as well, right? So this is basically kind of our version of Costco, this whole district. It's actually great that you decided to do this tour during a weekday where there's less people.
Yes.
So not much big crowd.
Yes.
But if you really want to get that authentic Chinese Filipino food, you go, you go to the more hidden areas.
You know, that's really good. Yeah, Evelyn was making a comment how this area that we're walking through, it's quite clean. Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And of course, because of that, well, let's just cross over here.
Okay.
And because of that, they had some kind of cleanup drive as well, and like policies just to kind of make it and ensure that the streets of Manila or the whole Metro Manila will be clean as well. So Dongbei is actually a village within China, right? And they're very well known for dumplings as well, and noodle dishes, right? So when their family moved here to the Philippines, of course, again, they had to look for a source of living or a source of money. So they ended up doing what they knew best, which is dumplings. And I do say it really grew into the community as well. No?
Interesting. You know, I love the rich history and culture of the Binondo because like you're sharing the caranderia or the where the Indians came here and they needed to make a living. They're same thing. So there's just so much you know, when times are tough, you find ways for the side hustle back then. And as a result, right here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Cool.
So for your fresh dumplings here, this is their bestseller, which is the pork and chai dumpling. And so the reason why it took a little bit while because the difference between this dumpling and most of the dumplings is this one is actually boiled rather than steamed. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's fresh. We have the dumplings over here, and the sauce inside is just a light vinegar with a little bit of soy sauce as well. And steeped inside is actually ginger, so you have that ginger taste to it as well. And then chili oil.
Okay.
So yeah, have a taste. So be careful, it is quite hot. So if once you pop into your mouth and it's too hot, you can do the Santa Claus trick, yeah? You can do the ho ho ho.
I'm doing that right now. Ho ho ho. Okay, here we go. I'm finally gonna do it. Ho ho ho. It's boiled. You can definitely taste the difference. This by far is one of the best dumplings that I've had. I'm not a dumpling fan. This is really good.
Yes.
So nice. A little bit of a tip for Filipinos. You know, if you did your research very, very well, you will be able to see or locate all of these places as long as you do or follow the right people as well.
You guys came very highly recommended.
Yes.
And that's why we were here. So thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Awesome.
Ready to eat more?
Yes, let's go. I didn't ask, but thank you for bringing it up because you read my mind.
No, a lot of my guests kind of ask me, it's like, so Chloe, why is it so high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I proceed to explain.
Yeah, Chloe was just talking about how the sidewalks are so high. And I actually was wondering the same thing. And she actually read my mind. Part of that is because of the, it tends to flood rain in Manila, so that helps curtail or save a lot. Oh, God, I just see a rooster, too. Oh, my goodness.
All right, just a quick stop again. Yeah. Fun fact, cockfighting is legal here in the Philippines.
Yes.
Yes.
I am aware of that.
Yeah. Take a quick break over here because I would like to explain to you or showcase to you a very unique prayer corner.
That was quite an experience. Thank you for stopping by there.
Yeah. I would love to take a quick photo of everyone here.
Yes,
You know?
quick photo of everyone.
Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna be going deeper a little bit inside Chinatown.
Oh, we're going deep, Nicole? It's the wires.
The wires, yeah. So honestly, for all of the wires, right? All of the ones that are closer to the ground, those actually don't work anymore. All the working ones are actually above it.
Oh!
But the only reason why not, they cannot by all means kind of clear it up because they're just unsure which one still works and which one really is dead.
Right.
So instead of, removing it, they left it as a seasonal or every year decoration in Chinatown.
We're at our next stop. There we go. All right, we are here at our next stop. What an incredible cruise through Chinatown. One thing we've noticed is that it's clean. The streets are clean. Contrary to what I've seen in the past, very, very, very clean. All right, our next dish is mommy noodles and siopao.
I'll be teaching you how to add extra flavors into your noodle.
Nice. Okay.
Yes. So here, this is the restaurant we call as Masuki. And Masuki has been up and running since 1930s.
Really? 1930s?
Yeah. And this is actually where mommy noodles started. Oh. Yes, they were the one who originally made mommy noodles. Mommy noodles started. So, of course, a lot of people kind of question, so what does mommy mean, right? So, mommy actually means the whole word mommy, M-A-M-I. The first word, ma, is actually the last name of the family. And then mi is kind of like a term for noodles as well. So, it's like ma, family's noodles.
Wow! I am so glad that we're here now. We're going to be able to try that. One thing I love about this tour, and Chloe's been really, really great, is they're giving us the history of the location, the food, and the meaning behind it. Superb. We are off to our next restaurant. This is the place where we had left reservations. And I got to tell you, the mommy over here was hella set up. Everything was made. The siopao was great. The broth. I mean, you have to add a little white stuff to it. But you know what? Thumbs up. Chloe and team have been so great. And right now we've got, like I said, we got reservations. We actually got 2 more stops. But the last, like anything else, you typically have dessert. And just loving the vibe over here. Check this out. stop and we actually... Thank you po. Good morning. Wow. Ooh.
Notice that in most Chinese restaurants, they always have quite extensive menus, right? Sometimes it's like booklets that just goes on and on and on. So the fun fact here is that the menus for those restaurants are actually works as their resumes as well, right? Because it showcases all of their skill sets. This is what they can make, you know, back to back, and they have like a total of 111 items, yeah, that they can prepare. So definitely in other restaurants they have a lot more. Sometimes they generally doesn't have pictures, but they're very long and extensive as well. So the next time when you go to a restaurant, right, and you ask them, even though they usually have like regularly 10 items that are eaten in a daily basis, now you can ask them, it's like, what's your regular? And then you choose from the non-mentioned items, you know, to kind of surprise yourself and to challenge the chefs as well, if they can still do their stuff. So for the drinks, we offer one of their best, or one of my favorite drinks I would like you guys to recommend to try is either the lemon iced tea or the milk tea.
We're gonna try different stuff. And right now we're having milk tea.
Variety of dishes. Peking duck. Pick your duck.
I had to ask. All right, I'll see you with the food.
So this is their version of chili garlic paste. So here in the Philippines, we're not just chili oil, right? It's always with a little bit of garlic because again, for flavor, yeah. And of course, here in the Philippines, we all add garlic in everything.
Yes.
There are 3 items here, and we're still waiting for one more. Just a quick introduction to them. Of course, this is your shrimp dumpling. This is what we call as hakao. Yeah, this is shrimp, yes. So for this one, we have roasted duck. So this is actually what we call as the more local way of making Peking duck, right? Because apparently Peking duck with the crispy skin is only for the emperor or the king's duck, right? Yeah. So these are for all the workers. Yes. So it's in a more asado sauce. And then the last one dumpling we have here is what we call as pork and shrimp. Pork and shrimp inside. That is what we call as the bean curd roll. So for this one, it's the reason why it's called bean curd is because you know when soybeans is being fermented into tofu or soybean curds, right? It has it kind of creates this little thin layer that's actually what is wrapped in it. So very yours to try out. So for this one, it's a little bit more like a Filipino and Chinese mix to it because you see the pork and beef wonton siomai here, and your dipping sauce is actually curry, like Filipino curry sauce. So it is very similar to like the Japanese curry, but a little bit more in the savory side rather than sweet.
It's good. It tastes like a taquito.
Pero deep fried.
Deep fried beef, almost like a meatball.
Yeah, like a meatball.
It's like a meatball. Yeah, and I love curry.
How's it taste?
Flavor. And that curry sauce.
Very tasty.
Very tasty.
Here in the Philippines, again, we're not very big fans of spice, right? So most of our curry sauces is just a little bit more, I mean, it still has that cumin taste to it, but definitely the spice level is not really there. So it's a little bit more similar to the Japanese, right? And for example, I'm sure you're very familiar with the kare-kare dish, right?
Yeah.
So kare-kare is our fake curry because in the language in the Philippines, if you kind of double a meaning, it means fake or kind of like made up. Yeah? So kare-kare is our own version of fake curry because it's not spicy, rather it is more peanutty and savory rather than spicy.
Right.
So
Wow.
Wow,
That's what it means, huh?
Yes.
Kare-kare.
Kare-kare. So, because for example, if you play house or you play doctoran, right?
Oh,
Filipino, yeah.
okay,
Or,
got it.
Laro laruan or parang
Yeah.
something like
So
similar
something
to that,
made
right?
up,
So that's
right.
kind of like the idea behind doubling words. But for
Yeah.
example, when it comes to halo-halo, that's a whole different concept.
like a made-up thing, yeah.
Halo-halo is just means mixing.
Mix. Yeah. Oh.
Interesting. Wow, that's delicious. And that's part of one of the reasons why I like the Filipino version of curry.
So generally yes, this is your home for the HOPIA.
This apparently is the birthplace of the HOPIA. For all you HOPIA lovers, this place is humongous.
So hopia is basically the mooncake-like pastries. So you know, for the Chinese, they always eat mooncakes during festivals,
Yes,
right? And generally, of course, the Filipinos wanted to eat something very similar to it.
Right.
So they made a kind of like an everyday type of pastry instead. That's why hopia came into the picture, no? So the main flavor for hopia is actually the mung beans. So we never really use red bean paste, unlike for Japan, right? Because the texture of red beans is just a little bit too
Pasty.
yeah, too pasty or a little bit too gritty as well.
Yeah.
So mung beans, on the other hand, is a little bit more smooth, right? So that's why this is the most original flavor for it. But of course, a lot more businesses started doing hopia as well. So Ang Bitin wanted to kind of scour the whole Philippines to see which type of other flavors they can make into hopia, and that's why the flavor ube or purple yam became a very big delicacy as well for Ang Bitin particularly. So this is another crowd favorite as well, and I chose different flavors too. One of the new flavors actually are what we call as hopia and ube and makapuno. And then this ube langka. So langka is actually jackfruit in English.
Yeah.
So that's a very tasty fruit here in the Philippines as
Yum.
well, right? So other than the hopia that I have bought you guys, I have also want to give you guys a little bit of a taste of two of my favorite desserts here in the Philippines as well, yeah? So we have here is the pastillas, or what we call as the milk sugar curds, right?
Yeah.
So for here, we don't use cow milk, rather we use Carabal's milk, right?
Okay.
Or the water buffaloes. So actually, this gives you a little bit more smoother, better taste, rather than having cow's milk. And yeah, so you'll be trying that out as well. Can you open it up? The other one over here is what we call as makapuno, right?
Yum.
So makapuno might be a new term for you, but this is actually what we call as the mutant coconut. Right? So here in the Philippines, of course, we have what we call as buko, which is the young coconut, where you have the nice soft meat and delicious juice inside. But for the older coconut, we call it as niyog, and that's usually the one we use for coconut milk. But for makapuno, this is the combination of just the actual fruit or the meat itself. There's no juice at all. That's why it's actually mutated coconut, no? So it's actually naturally mutated. It was not. There was no any scientific anything or artificial ways to mutate it. It was just naturally like that.
So it's all organic.
Yes, and it started here in the Philippines. Yes. So they make makapuno balls with it, or they also add it as strips in your halo-halo. Yeah. So if you think that's coconut, that's actually makapuno. So we would love you guys to try the pastillas first, and then
Yeah.
while I open up.
Okay.
So for this one, right, you might be wondering why was it always placed in paper, right?
Why is
Yes,
that?
I always wondered
Because
that.
in the Spaniard, right, in the Spaniard era, it would look like a dainty treat, right? So it has like a very thin, kind of like Chinese tissue paper, crepe paper, right? And then you get it's like in a nice little package, kind of like a gift, no? And then when you open it up, you have the delicious.
Enticing gift.
Really good.
Yummy.
I would always have this.
my finger. This is
Mapuno.
Okay, now.
Wow, what a way to cap off this incredible Binondo food tour, none other than at the famous Ing B10, which is home of the HOPIA. And I gotta tell you, this place is so incredible, so huge. The aroma, the variety, I am becoming an even more huge HOPIA fan. Well, that time has come, and as I conclude our culinary journey through the world's oldest Chinatown, I'm actually left with a deep appreciation for the rich cultural heritage that permeates every dish, every ingredient, and every cooking technique. The authentic flavors of this vibrant neighborhood are not just a testament to the community's resilience, but also a reflection of its ability to adapt, to innovate, and to preserve its cultural identity. Wow, I am actually loving the Philippines even more and proud of it. Oh, I gotta give another shout out to Chloe and Nelly, because they made this all happen. We learned so much, and your personalization, your friendliness kept us all engaged. You all can experience the same tour, so I'm gonna leave their information in the description area. Well, like I said, that time has come once again. So we really truly hope you enjoyed this two-part series. And I gotta say, I truly appreciate your support through this journey. So please hit that subscribe button so that you will be notified on more of this upcoming Philippines adventure. Once again, salamat, peace, and mabuhay.